My name's Rachel Morgan. I'm 29 years old, and last month I woke up to find out I'd been canceled by my own sister. I didn't even know what was happening at first. My phone wouldn't stop buzzing. Notifications, mentions, tags, all from strangers calling me a monster. They'd stitched her video, duetted it, reposted it, crying about how girls like me ruin everything. And there she was, Chloe Morgan, my little sister, sitting under soft lighting, eyes red and trembling, telling the world she'd finally escaped a toxic family member. She never said my name. She didn't have to. People knew. The clues were everywhere. Old family photos blurred in the background, a birthday card I'd made her years ago, even our matching charm bracelet. It was like she wanted the world to guess. By noon, my inbox was full of hate. By dinner, one of my freelance clients had decided to go in a different direction. I sat in silence, staring at the same girl who used to sneak into my bed when she had nightmares, now crying for likes, painting me as her villain. I told myself not to respond, not to feed it, but when her video hit 3 million views in a single day, and my own mother commented a heart emoji under it, and something inside me broke. They thought they knew the story, but I was the only one who had the truth, and the receipts to prove it. Chloe and I used to be close, the kind of sisters who finished each other's sentences and borrowed clothes without asking. She was born 5 years after me, a summer baby with honey-colored hair and the kind of smile that could talk her way out of anything. I was quieter, steadier. Mom used to say I was the old soul, while Chloe was the firecracker. Our parents divorced when I was 12. Dad moved 2 states away, and Mom raised us mostly on her own. I grew up fast, packing lunches, helping with homework, pretending everything was fine when Mom cried in the kitchen. Chloe didn't remember much of the hard years. She was too young. Maybe that's why she grew up chasing happiness, while I just tried to keep everything from falling apart. When TikTok started blowing up, Chloe found her place in it. Makeup tutorials, outfit hauls, story times about growing up poor but happy. She made everything sound cinematic, and people loved her for it. Within a year, she had brand deals, PR boxes, and fans who called her relatable queen. I was proud, honestly. I designed her first logo, helped her set up lighting, even edited her early videos when she didn't know how. It felt like something we were building together, but slowly she changed. She started talking in hashtags. Every family moment became content. Dinners turned into vlogs. Birthdays became collabs. And somewhere in the middle of all that, we stopped being sisters. It wasn't one fight. It was little things, her forgetting to credit me, using my art for her posts, lying about details from our childhood because it made a better story. I tried to talk to her about it, but she'd laugh it off. It's just the internet, Rach. No one cares. Maybe she was right, until the day everyone suddenly did. It started with one of Chloe's storytime videos. She titled it, "When Family Becomes Your Biggest Enemy." The video opened with her sitting cross-legged on her bed, wrapped in a soft beige blanket, mascara slightly smudged, that perfect mix of vulnerability and performance she'd mastered. She spoke about a sister who couldn't stand seeing her shine, who copied her ideas, who used emotional manipulation to stay relevant. She never said my name, but she didn't need to. She used a voice note I'd sent months ago, my voice, trembling after an argument saying, "You make me feel invisible." She'd clipped it, cut the context, and laid sad piano music underneath. Then she stared at the camera and whispered, "This is what gaslighting sounds like." The comments poured in. Classic jealous sibling energy. "She's projecting. Protect your peace. Girl." By the next morning, the video had over 1 million views. Chloe replied to comments with vague hearts and, "It's been a hard year, but I'm healing." I sat there staring at my screen, heart hammering. I wanted to call her, to scream, to cry, to ask why she'd do this, but she'd blocked me. On everything. Instagram, TikTok, even text messages. That night, Mom called. I thought maybe she'd see through it. Instead, she sighed and said, "Rach, I told you not to be so harsh on your sister online. You know she's sensitive. Online?" I hadn't said a word online, but that didn't matter. Chloe's version of the story had already become the truth. Within days, people started finding my profile. My art account, where I posted sketches and freelance projects, was flooded with comments. Abuser. You're sick. Leave her alone. One of my clients emailed me apologetically. We'll have to postpone the project until things calm. Down? Things weren't calming down. They were getting worse. And the part that broke me most wasn't the strangers. It was watching my own family, my mother, my cousins, comment under Chloe's videos with little hearts and so proud of you for speaking up. I felt erased. Like she'd taken my life, rewritten it, and handed it to millions of people who hated me for a story that wasn't even true. I stayed quiet for 12 days. 12 days of humiliation, silence, and sleepless nights, until I found something that changed everything. On the 12th night, I couldn't sleep. The hate had quieted, but only because I'd stopped checking. I kept replaying that video in my head, her voice trembling, the piano music, the tears that fell exactly when the camera light softened. I opened my laptop and pulled up our old messages. At first, I just wanted to understand what had gone so wrong. But as I scrolled back, through years of voice notes, screenshots, and receipts, I realized something. She hadn't just twisted the story. She had built her entire version on lies. I found messages where she had borrowed money from me, then gone online and said she worked 2 jobs to afford her first apartment. I found drafts of captions I'd helped her write, the ones she now accused me of stealing. And worst of all, I found proof she'd used one of my personal sketches in a brand deal, claiming it as her own design. I remember sitting there shaking. I'd been too scared to speak, too heartbroken to defend myself, and she'd been counting on that silence. That night, I started screen recording everything. Her deleted tweets, her messages where she'd said, "Please don't tell Mom about the sponsorship lie." The apology she'd sent after shouting at me last Thanksgiving. "You're the only one who really knows who I am. Rach, please don't give up on me." My hands trembled as I pieced it all together into a short, quiet video. No music, no editing. Just screenshots, timestamps, and my voice. Calm, tired, steady. I didn't call her names. I didn't cry. I just told the truth. "I've stayed silent because I loved her," I said softly, looking into the camera. "But love doesn't mean letting someone destroy you for attention." I stared at the post button for a long time. My chest hurt. My throat was dry. I thought about Mom, about what she'd say when she saw it, about Chloe, about how she'd twist it. And then I hit upload. I put my phone face down and went to bed, certain no one would care. By morning, everything had changed. I woke up to my phone vibrating so violently it almost slipped from my hands. Notifications, messages, tags, I couldn't keep up. My video had gone viral overnight. People were sharing it, commenting, and dissecting Chloe's original post. Slowly, the narrative was shifting. The evidence was clear, undeniable. Screenshots of Chloe's lies, timestamps, even voice notes, all showing the truth. Comments flooded in. "Wow, this changes everything. Rachel, thank you for showing your side. She's been gaslighting you the whole time." Even strangers started posting their own receipts. Former friends and collaborators came forward, confirming Chloe had exaggerated, lied, or stolen content. Brand deals she'd claimed to fund on her own? Fake. Her struggles? Exaggerated for content. Chloe's followers began to question her. Some turned on her completely, leaving angry comments. Her brand deals were paused, her posts flagged by sponsors. But what hurt most wasn't the internet. It was watching my family remain torn. Mom liked my video but still struggled to process it. Dad sent a quiet text. "I see it now." "I'm sorry." Chloe didn't respond. Instead, she posted a defensive video, her classic mix of tears and shaky hands, claiming I had attacked her unfairly. But the internet had already seen the receipts. People noticed inconsistencies in her story. Every lie she had carefully crafted was unraveling. The tension grew in our family. My cousins messaged me privately, saying they'd always suspected Chloe was exaggerating. Friends asked if I was okay. I felt vindicated, but also exhausted. I hadn't wanted this drama. I hadn't wanted her life to unravel. I just wanted the truth to be seen. Every time I scrolled through TikTok, I saw her followers leaving comments like, "Why did she lie?" This isn't the Chloe I followed. She's not relatable anymore. And through it all, I realized something hard. Even though the world was finally seeing my side, the emotional scars, the betrayal, the heartbreak wouldn't vanish overnight. By now, the story was bigger than us. But I knew it wouldn't end until Chloe and I finally faced each other. The confrontation happened 2 weeks later at Mom's house. I hadn't seen Chloe since my video went viral. I knew she was furious, and honestly, part of me was scared of her, but I couldn't stay silent any longer. She opened the door, hair messy, eyes wide and red-rimmed. "You're ruining my life," she spat before I even stepped inside. I took a deep breath. "No, Chloe, you started this. You tried to cancel me, twist my life into your story for likes, and now everyone's finally seeing the truth." Her lips trembled. "Mom believes you. The internet believes you. How could you do this to me?" "I didn't do anything," I said softly. "I told the truth. I showed the receipts. You built a fake life on my art, my ideas, and my personal history. You stole from me, lied about me, and painted me as the villain. And when the world believed you, I stayed silent. But silence doesn't protect love, and it protects lies." Mom hovered in the hallway, tears streaming down her face. "Girls, enough," she whispered. Chloe shook her head, voice breaking. "You're just trying to humiliate me." I stepped closer, holding up my phone. I played the messages, the voice notes, the screenshots, every proof that Chloe had lied, manipulated, and stolen content. I let her hear her own words, the exact ones she had deleted or edited. Her hands flew to her face. I didn't mean—" "You did," I said, my voice trembling. "You wanted the world to see me as the bad one. You wanted attention, validation, and now the truth is out. The world isn't blind anymore." Mom sobbed quietly. I didn't see it before. I thought you were overreacting, Rachel." "I'm sorry." Chloe collapsed into the couch, head in her hands. "I ruined everything. My followers, my deals, my life. You ruined us," I said softly. "But I didn't. I survived it. And maybe someday you'll understand that telling the truth doesn't have to destroy someone." At that moment, a neighbor who had seen the tension filmed the confrontation through a window. Within hours, clips of our conversation spread online, unedited, raw, emotional. Millions now saw the real story, not the edited, tearful TikTok Chloe had posted, but the truth, full of context, full of evidence. For the first time in weeks, I felt relief and heavy, raw but undeniable. Chloe had no way to spin it. No way to lie this time. The world finally had the full picture. After the confrontation, everything felt surreal. Chloe retreated from social media completely. Her brand deals were canceled, PR teams stopped responding, and her followers dwindled as the truth spread. The Chloe everyone had adored online, bubbly, relatable, untouchable, had vanished, leaving behind someone the world no longer believed. Mom spent hours apologizing. "I never realized how much I favored her," she admitted, voice trembling. "I thought I was just encouraging her dreams, but I ignored how much it hurt you." Her words were heavy, but they finally felt real. Dad called too, quietly. "I should have noticed sooner. I'm proud of you for standing up for yourself, Rachel." Even my friends and former colleagues reached out with messages of support. One of my longtime clients reinstated a project I thought I'd lost forever. "We believe in you," she said, not in the stories that others try to sell. And yet, it wasn't all victory. I was exhausted. My trust in people, even family, had been fractured. I spent nights replaying the betrayal, wondering how someone I loved so deeply could weaponize the internet against me. Chloe hadn't just threatened my reputation, she had threatened my sense of safety, my memories, and my identity. But there were small victories too. Friends who had stayed by my side. Strangers reaching out to share their own stories of being canceled unfairly. And the quiet, steady satisfaction of knowing the truth had finally surfaced. I hadn't set out to ruin Chloe's life. I had only wanted to protect mine. The internet had its judgment, sure, but I felt in control for the first time in weeks. People weren't just seeing me as a villain or a jealous sister anymore. They were seeing me as a human being, capable of pain, patience, and resilience. And while Chloe remained silent, removed from the world she had once dominated, I slowly began rebuilding my own life. Quietly, carefully, but with purpose. I learned that family ties are messy, and social media only magnifies the mess. But I also learned that standing up for yourself, even in the face of betrayal, is worth every sleepless night. Now, months later, I sit in my apartment surrounded by my sketches, half-finished projects, and the quiet hum of my computer. Life has slowed, but I can still feel the weight of what happened. The betrayal, the public humiliation, the heartbreak, it doesn't disappear overnight. I think about Chloe sometimes. I don't know if she's really changed. I don't know if she even understands the damage she caused. And part of me knows I might never forgive her fully. But I also know I don't have to let her actions define me. The truth went viral, yes. People saw my side, the evidence, the real story. And in a strange way, that gave me peace. Not because I won online, but because I finally stopped carrying the weight of silence. I finally stopped letting someone else write my story for me. Family is complicated. Love is complicated. Social media makes both even messier. But I've learned that honesty matters more than appearances, and boundaries are necessary, even when it comes to the people you love most. I still check the occasional comment on my video. Some are kind, some are harsh. But mostly, I see empathy. Strangers connecting to my experience, sharing their own pain, realizing they aren't alone. And that is what makes all of this bearable. Maybe one day Chloe and I will speak again. Maybe we won't, but right now I've reclaimed my voice. I've reclaimed my story. And for the first time in a long time, I feel like Rachel Morgan, not the villain in someone else's viral post. Not the jealous sister, but me. I've learned that sometimes, surviving betrayal isn't about revenge. It's about truth, courage, and holding on to your own sense of self. And in a world that rewards chaos, that's more powerful than any viral video could ever be.